Do this without telling anyone, and watch how doors open without effort. Neville Goddard. So let me tell you something that most spiritual teachers won't dare say. That you are not a victim of your past. You are, in fact, the author of it. And you can actually rewrite it at will. Now, this is not some healing technique. This is not about therapy. And once you understand how it works, you'll stop trying to manifest a new future, because you will realize you can revise the entire timeline. Now, Neville Goddard didn't teach manifestation as if it was a wish list to the universe. He taught identity, command, causation. He taught that the world outside of you isn't fixed. It's flexible, malleable, responding to one thing only: what you believe yourself to be. And that belief, well, it's rooted in the past you think happened. But it's really only an assumption, a choice of many different realities and timelines. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, this is the truth that most people won't dare say. Because right now, you are probably walking around like a slave to your memory, replaying traumas, repeating stories, identifying with failure, betrayal, rejection, as if what happened must define what's coming, as if what happened is set in stone. But Neville Goddard called it out. He said, "The past is not dead. It is not even past." The translation of that is that the past is not over. It's not even gone. It's alive, active, and it's still shaping your life. Because the past only exists in your subconscious, which means you can change it now. And when you do, the future must obey. The reason why most people stay stuck is simple. Because they usually say, "I can't move on." But you won't move on. Because deep down, they've agreed to the story. Right now, you might be saying, "I am someone who always gets rejected. I am someone who always struggles with money. I am someone who can't trust anyone. I am someone who never has a good thing last. I am someone who is always let down. I am someone who is always in debt." Sound familiar? All of these statements are usually based on past events. But the problem is, when you say these words, the universe, like a perfect mirror, says, "Got it." Not because it hates you or it's punishing you, but because it's loyal to your words and assumption and the awareness of your state of being. So you're not living the consequences of your past. You're living the consequences of repeating it over and over again in your awareness. Now, the good news is there's something called revision. Neville called it the pruning shears of revision in a famous lecture, and I will list that link below so you can read it in its entirety. But the amazing thing is that revision is not a metaphor. It's not poetry. It's the literal mechanism for collapsing timelines and making miracles take form. Now Neville said, you simply revise, and as you revise the day, you repeal the day. Now this means you don't allow yourself to relive the past. You replace it instead. You choose a different outcome and thus a new timeline. So you don't talk about what happened. You overwrite it with what you prefer. And when you revise this memory, truly revise it, you shift your state of being immediately. And when your state shifts, reality has no choice but to follow. So step number 1, you have to choose what must be rewritten. Think of something recent, something that did not go your way. The moment they didn't call, the rejection email, the money that didn't come, the moment you looked in the mirror and hated what you saw, the moment someone said something that broke you. Now pause, because here's where the lie ends. Because you are not required to accept any of it. Your subconscious does not care what actually happened. It only cares what you assume happened. So instead of replaying the wound, rewrite it and re-script it. And yes, you are absolutely allowed to do this. Instead, see the moment going right. Feel them saying what you wish they had. Imagine the scene ending in joy, in closure, in success. You don't need proof that this is possible. You simply need precision. Step number 2. It's your job to replace the memory with authority. So you don't just fantasize or wish or hope. You command like God. Because Neville wasn't teaching escapism. He was teaching identity correction. So you must become the version of you who never got rejected, who never felt unsafe, who never experienced the loss. Feel how they looked at you with awe. Feel the congratulations email. Feel your mother finally saying the words you always needed to hear. Make it real. Make it final. Because once your nervous system believes it, your world starts reshaping to match. Step 3. You need to seal it with emotion. Because your subconscious does not speak English. It speaks feeling. So when you revise a memory, don't just watch it. Feel it. Feel the relief, the triumph, the intimacy, the certainty, the wow factor. Because this is not about logic. It's about frequency. Emotion is the glue that will lock in the preferred timeline. If you don't use emotion, there will be no imprint and no impact. So let it move you. Let it settle in your body like it already happened. Because as far as the quantum field is concerned, It did. Step 4. You need to repeat until it feels like the only truth. So this is not a one-time visualization. This is reprogramming. So you know that embarrassing thing that happened in high school? Why does it feel so real? Because you've replayed it 100 times, maybe even 1,000. Now imagine if you'd revised it every night instead. It would be a different memory, a different feeling, a different you. So every night before bed, especially in that drowsy, liminal space, replay your revised scene. And don't hope for change. Assume it. Step 5. Go silent. Now, this is where most people blow it. 99.9% of people. Yes, that much. Because, you see, they revise the scene, they feel amazing, but then, what do? They tell everyone. They check for proof. They wake up and scan for signs. You must stop doing that. Because Neville Goddard said, assumption, if persisted in, will harden into fact. But it will not harden if you keep digging it up. Your new reality is like wet cement. You touch it too soon, you ruin the shape. So after you revise, you go silent. No social media announcements, no over-explaining to your friends, no checking the mirror or your inbox. Because you don't chase it, you become it. And reality will bend around you accordingly. Now, let's get controversial. Because if all realities exist right now, then the version of you who already got the love, already made the money, already healed, already exists. Because you're not creating it. You're selecting it. Now I want to get something clear. Revision is not about delusion. It's about selection. So you are not lying to yourself. You are aligning with a different frequency. And when you tune in, the 3D catches up always. And this can make even the most impossible things change. Aspects of your current reality that you thought were set in stone. But just remember, nothing is off limits. And the world around you is obeying your command. So here's why this works, even if you've tried everything. Because most manifestation techniques fail because they focus on the future. But the problem is the future doesn't exist. Only your assumptions and your awareness do. And your awareness is built on what you think happened. So if you've been affirming, I am rich, but secretly carrying a past of poverty, your subconscious will keep you broke because it has to obey you. If you say, I am loved, but keep replaying the moment they left, you'll manifest more ghosting, more distance, more being ignored. You do not need more affirmations to try to fix this. Instead, you need revision, and you need it now. So rewrite the moment, rewrite the memory, and watch how fast the outer world follows. Now, before you sleep tonight, pick one moment, revise it. Don't fantasize, don't hope. Just remember it differently. Replay it in detail. Hear the exact words. Feel the exact emotions. Let your nervous system believe it happened. Then whisper, "It is done." And fall asleep, knowing the new timeline has been selected. Now you'll know it's working when reality starts glitching in your favor. The ache you once felt when thinking of that memory, it softens, then vanishes. The face that used to trigger you no longer holds power. The story you used to tell yourself, you stop telling it. Not because you're avoiding it, but because it no longer feels true. And then, stranger things start happening. People who once ignored you reach out with warmth. Doors that had slammed shut quietly unlock. Opportunities that, quote unquote, weren't meant to be, resurface as if nothing ever went wrong. Sometimes you'll notice the weirdest sign of all. The original memory itself begins to dissolve. It starts to feel blurry, foggy, dreamlike, like a movie you half watched in another lifetime. You might even question whether it happened at all. The original memory itself begins to dissolve. Good. That's the shift. That's your subconscious filing the old script under obsolete. You see, most people are still trapped in the cult of linear time. They think what happened happened, end of story. But if you're truly living this teaching, if you understand that time is not linear, it's holographic, then you'll stop waiting for permission to shift. Because here's the controversial truth. That betrayal, it never had to happen. That betrayal, it never had to happen. That diagnosis, it can be revised. That rejection letter, it can be rewritten into an offer. Even things you swore were irreversible. Death, separation, trauma, even physical scars can be undone at the level of assumption. But again, this is not about fixing the past, but by selecting a different reality and timeline where it unfolded differently, and letting that version ripple outward until it becomes your new now. Again, Neville Goddard said, "The past is not dead. It is not even past. Because the only thing that ever existed is your assumption. And once your assumption changes, reality has no choice. It must obey." So don't just wait for signs. Become the sign. And if things feel strange, surreal, out of sync in a good way, you're not going crazy. You're collapsing timelines. Let that be your proof. Now, Neville Goddard was not teaching you how to get what you want. He was reminding you that you are already the author and always have been. So stop hoping. Start rewriting. Start using the pruning shears of revision. Because you are the scripter, the selector, the God of your reality. So stop replaying pain. Stop idolizing what happened. Quote unquote, what happened. It's old data. It's expired code. Use the pruning shears instead. Cut away what doesn't serve your highest ideal and watch your garden bloom. So let this be your practice. Every night, pick a scene, rewrite it, feel it, fall asleep in it. Repeat until the new version becomes the only version. And then, never speak of the old one again. Because once it's revised, it's rewritten. Not just in your mind, but in the fabric of reality. You'll see. Now, if this video affected you, it's because you're not casual about your power. And I privately work with people who are ready to collapse timelines, end the cycle of delay, and embody the version of themselves who gets everything they want without apology. If that's you, then click the link to apply below. Leave me a comment below and tell me all about your chosen timeline, not just for validation, but for confirmation of who you are now. And don't forget to subscribe, because once you see how powerful you truly are, you'll never go back. I've got more mind-blowing videos coming that will bend your sense of time and reality. And if you think this video is bold, wait until you see my next one. In the meantime, up next, watch my one-night manifestation hack. This is not a method. It's a weapon, and it works in your favor every single time. Click here.